How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to some more Majora's Mask 3D. Today we are going to be taking on the Great Big Temple, which is, in my opinion, a bit easier than the Water Temple was in Ocarina of Time. This one's quite a bit more straightforward compared to the Water Temple, and there's kind of limited areas to go if you know what you're doing. It's kind of like the opposite of the Water Temple, I think. I just did this on the Nintendo 64 version, and I think I'm kind of familiar with what I'm doing, but we'll just have to see how things go. So one thing that you should probably do, if you don't already, get yourself the, I always forget the name of the mask, the frog mask that you get from throwing the meat at the Goron by the mountain village. Make sure you have that mask before doing this temple. And if you want to bring some green magic, go for it. I brought some just in case, but I don't think it's necessary, because as far as I remember, there's tons of magic all over this place. But if you just want to be careful, I would bring some along, just so that you don't ever run out, which you really shouldn't. There's not too many reasons to use magic. Well, more than what we have for the magic bar. There's usually plenty of refills, but just in case, if you, for whatever the reason, ever run out, which I'm thinking would more be probably more lean towards if you don't have the full magic meter, but in this case there's not really anything to worry about, so should be fine. I do like that little random cutscene that plays there with the pirates getting yeeted off into oblivion. It's a little funny. So right off the bat, the only thing to do in this room is going to be to light these 4 torches. I don't remember if there's any Deku sticks anywhere. There might be some in these barrels, so I'm going to take a little look. But lighting all these torches will give us our first... Are they just stray fairies? I think they're just called stray fairies. It's going to give us our first stray fairy of the temple out of 15. I don't remember if in the original it was 20 or not. I keep thinking it was 20, but maybe I'm thinking of something else. But there's only 15 here, and as long as you have the mask, the Great Fairy mask, you should be fine with finding them all. None of them are too hidden. There are some. Well, there's one that I know for sure that's like hidden inside of an enemy. But other than that one, I don't think there's really any that are too difficult to find. But I'll just show off where they all are anyways, because this is a 100% playthrough. And that's what I do. So, this is our first stray fairy. Keep calling it Great Fairy. And in case you're curious, the reward for getting all the Great Fairies, or Stray Fairies here, is going to be the defense upgrade, which allows us to take double damage or reduces damage by half. which is really... I guess there's some spots where it's pretty useful, but we're kind of getting late game now, and I don't know, it's always nice to have, don't get me wrong, but I kind of would have preferred it, like, the reward for Snowhead, and then get the extended magic bar for beating this temple, but that's just me. But killing this guy here will give us our next stray fairy, and then there's some rupees over here. If you'd like to purchase them, or pick them up. Can't really purchase one. Maybe you can, I don't know. And then I believe there's another stray fairy down here. Yep. So we'll get this one. And then that's already 3 out of 15, so we're doing good. I guess I could have just hovered over that other area, but no big deal. I would have to say the only really annoying part of this temple is going to be that main spinning room we're going to come up on in just a few minutes. You can kind of get pulled by the currents. I don't know if it's switched from the Nintendo 64 version or not, but in the Nintendo 64 version, you kind of really get pulled all over the place, and it's kind of annoying, but maybe that was switched with this game. I'm not certain. Hopefully it was switched up a little bit. We don't need to do anything with that big switch pushy thingy. Well, not yet at least. We will eventually, but not right now. So once we push that little tiny thing underwater, we can make our way over here and try not to get hit by these guys, which, there I go, getting hit. Use your sword or the arrows. The hookshot, I don't think it kills them unless you shoot their backsides, which is weird, because in Ocarina of Time you could kill them by hitting them from the front, but maybe that hookshot was just more pointy? I don't know, but there's going to be a hookshot spot over there, but we don't want to do anything with that just yet, so we're just going to head on to the main room. And I believe there's 2 or 3 stray fairies in here. So, there's for sure one, I want to say in that barrel, and then I believe there's one on the ground floor, which in the Nintendo 64 version, I jumped down there and tried to get it the hard way by throwing the boomerangs at it, but actually, I think firing arrows would maybe work. I don't know if they lose their range at all underwater, but we'll see. Forward a little bit. Okay, so it does work. Then we're just going to see if this mask can pull it all the way up here, which it should be able to do. Okay, so that's all the stray fairies for this room. I guess technically this could be considered like all one huge room with the tunnels and whatnot. It doesn't really end, but that's all for this big room at the moment. I think in general for this area too. I don't think there's any more in this room. So we are just going to head up to this area over here. So I think I was kind of mentioning before, with the water temple not going to have time, you kind of want to work your way down to up. But in this temple it's a little different. You actually want to go, from the top and then work your way down. But then at the same time, you are going to have to adjust the water level one time if you do things right. But they maybe got feedback a lot from Ocarina of Time. Maybe, I don't know how vocal people were back then about the temple difficulties. Really, Water Temple was the only thing that I've heard of giving people trouble, but even then, that's just because they always miss the key on the second floor. And there's a dog barking. Hopefully that doesn't pick up too loud. But as I was saying, I don't know if players were really vocal in Nintendo, like writing letters and whatnot. I don't know if that was like a thing. I know that you could write letters to Nintendo, but I don't know if people complain about difficulty or not. But either way, something must have changed here because this is quite a bit easier in my opinion. It does seem a little longer though, but that just might be because you have to deal with the currents and whatnot. And I believe this is the room where you get a stray fairy from killing all these Deku Babas. I think these are called Deku Babas. They look like them. Some variety of them. I think there's the 3 down here, and then there should be 1 up top, if this is the right room, which I believe it is, so I think there's going to be 1 more, yep, over there, and then we'll use the arrows to kill him, because I don't think the boomerangs are going to reach, so 1 there. Does that kill him? Nope. Okay. There we go. And then this is going to give us our 6th stray fairy, I believe. I think it's 6th. But just hook shot up here. Okay, so 6. 6 out of 15. Doing pretty well. One thing I like about Majora's Mask is that the stray fairies aren't really too tedious to collect or anything. I'm sure there's some that are maybe in awkward places, but for the most part, they're kind of self-explanatory on what you want to look for when you're looking for them. I believe there's one in that chest down there, which we'll get in a second. And then I think the compass is on the chest over by the bomb chew. There's also a stray fairy down on this right side. Right in this little bottle, or jar. There we go. It's the 7th. And we'll take this guy out, and then I can kill him underwater. Just yet. So take care of that. And then we'll be coming back to this area again to get the boss key. Can't do anything yet, just because we're missing the dungeon item. I was gonna say something about the dungeon item, but I'll hold that thought. So here's the compass. And I believe the dungeon map was in the chest of that room that I was in previously. So I'll have to go back and get that. Because I just remembered you could hookshot to chest, so I'll get that in just a little bit. I want to get this stray fairy first. And I like that they're throwing all these Deku nuts out in the jars. The funny thing is, I never really realized how effective Deku nuts were until I started speedrunning Ocarina of Time. They actually are very useful, and I just sort of neglected them all these years. Like, I never really paid attention to them or anything. I just kind of never used them, just because I started playing Ocarina of Time around 2004. Got a Nintendo 64 from GameStop. My mom did. And it came with a bunch of games. I believe it was like the Nintendo 64 like closing sale or whatever. The point where they stopped selling Nintendo 64 games, which 2004. Well, I guess that was like what, 6 years? Nintendo 64, right? 6 or 7. But I guess that's a long time. I don't know. Just that seems a little soon though to stop selling them, but maybe not. But we can actually get the dungeon item in just a bit. By just a bit, I mean a few seconds. I just don't want to be blown up by this guy. So, this mini-boss, there's an easy way to beat him and a tedious way. I'm going to try the tedious way, because the Nintendo 64 version, what I did was use the blast mask, and that's how you knock off all his little jelly things, which you'll see in just a minute. But I'm pretty sure you could beat him just by slashing and shooting arrows at him, which is what I'm going to go for. It might be kind of horrendous. Probably going to lose a bit of health, but I'm just curious to see if this will work. I can't use Tattle to tell the enemy information because all the masks are set to the D-pad because of the patch. So I don't know if she says anything about using bombs, but that's the easy way of beating him. If you want to beat him easy, just throw bombs and use the blast mask on him. But I'm curious to see how this is going to work. I don't know if my sword's going to be able to make contact with the eye. It might be too high, but we'll see. Doesn't look like the sword's going to do anything, though. And don't worry, this is the only really difficult mini-boss of the dungeon, temple, whatever you want to call it. The second mini-boss is going to be the Gekko thing again, which is pretty easy to take care of. And the last time we're going to be fighting that little frog thing. Unless you're in the cave later on, which is where you get a heart piece, but I don't know if he's there or not. But this eye thing is, I guess it kind of started. Well, no, I shouldn't say it started. I guess Link to the Past started the eyeball bosses. Or Zelda 1, I guess. The slimy eyeball bosses, at least. It seems like they started from Link to the Past, and then, for whatever reason, Nintendo just really likes bringing eyeball bosses. I don't know if there's any significance to that, if they just found them really creepy and gross and just want to keep using them. I don't know. For whatever reason, eyeballs are bosses in Zelda games. I also don't know how he's floating. It's another weird thing. Maybe it's supposed to be that he's like bouncing off these balls and they're just not making contact with the ground. I don't really know. Like I said, this is the tedious way of doing this. You could use the blast mask. I'm mostly doing this for hopefully entertainment's sake, seeing me fire 5 million arrows at this guy. It's going kind of well. I think he has 3 more health left, if I'm not mistaken. It seems to be 3 hits to kill, maybe? Because how many did I fire at him? Was that 3 already? 4? I don't know. These things are kind of annoying, and the fact that I'm using a controller for this, you can't really do the quick spins, which sucks. I can't really aim either. Oof. Yeah, I don't remember him having this, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, I don't remember him doing this in the Nintendo 64 version. Really have no idea what he's doing. And I guess he just explodes. And that's just going to give us our dungeon item, which you may have guessed already by the pattern. It's the ice arrows, which are actually a lot more useful in this game compared to Ocarina of Time, where they had next to no use. In fact, I don't really know any use in that game. I want to say I heard a rumor that depending on which arrow you kill an enemy with, they give you a certain thing. I think that might just be for this game, but in Ocarina of Time, I don't know what the use for the ice arrows really is. I don't know if there's anything significant. I'm just trying to think. I can't think of anything that you'd really ever need them for. Fire arrows you don't even need, because you can just use the hook or the long shot and the what is it, the shadow portion of Ganon's tower. You can just hook shot over to those torches, and you don't need the fire arrows. And then with the spirit room, you also don't need the fire arrows. You can just use the torches to shoot an arrow up the ceiling. So I don't know. I really don't know what the use of the ice arrows in that game was. And they removed that cool little equip thing. When you equip the ice arrows, it doesn't make that cool sound anymore. Wonder why they did that. But a neat thing about this game's ice arrows is you can actually freeze enemies, and you can freeze the water to hop on it, which is pretty cool. I want to say that the original edition, the Nintendo or the 3DS version, removes it. The ability to make ice platforms outside the temple, which is weird. I don't know why they did that, but with this patch, we can actually keep on making the ice platforms. Maybe it was to prevent players from getting out of bounds or something. I'm not really sure. But with that out of the way, I think we can actually make our way not to the second mini boss yet. We have one more little floor raising or water path moving thingy to push. Then I think we can head to the second mini boss already, which is going to give us the boss key. And gotta make sure I talk to the frog with the what is the master's name? Don Gyorg or something? Just gotta make sure I do that. So we'll head back up here if I can get over there. I swear this big room is the most difficult part of the temple. If you can get through that, you're fine. Oops. Oh, so when those guys hit you, it stops the sinking. That's interesting. And I think there's a stray fairy in here somewhere. Because I believe that's the dungeon map, so it must be in those jars on the left side. How much push that over to this, so... So here's our dungeon map, which at this point don't really need it. Kind of got all the areas covered. So there's the stray fairy. Put this mask on. And I forget what number this is gonna be. Oh, 8. Okay, sweet. So we're halfway done. And then to get to this door, all we want to do is make these little ice platforms. Which is a really cool concept. I don't know that they've really brought this back like in any form, really. I know in A Link Between Worlds you can use the ice staff to make ice platforms on the lava, but aside from that, and maybe there's something in Skyward Sword too, but that wasn't with like any sort of item, was it? It was just with throwing water down. So they haven't really incorporated this like ever again too much, besides from Link Between Worlds, which is kind of unfortunate. It's a cool idea. I guess they don't want to make things stale? I don't know. That guy I've thought out pretty quick. Just want to check what's over here. Should be everything I really need. Hearts are pretty good. So let's head on down here, and then... Oops. We can actually get the boss key already, which is pretty soon, because we still have like half the temple left. Maybe not. Well, yeah, I guess half. Because there's still quite a bit left. But I don't know. From here on, it's kind of smooth sailing. There's not really anything too difficult. If you're good at platforming, should be fine. The biggest challenge now is going to be with the ice platforms. But we got to make our way over there. Assuming I make all my jumps, it should be fine. Because the second mini boss isn't really too difficult either. This should be all the platforms I need. If you want to be safe, just do a roll so you make sure that you make your jump. And if you want to be really safe, you put on a bunny hood. And here's a little interesting thing. This is the only spot where it's really 100% necessary to use fire arrows here, which is kind of interesting. Because Zelda dungeons don't really have a track record of having you use the previous item from the previous dungeon. But here's the little Gekko thingy again. Pretty easy this time around. Got the gilded sword, so 2 jump slashes, I believe, will take him out. Bunny hood will make this a lot easier to catch up to him, so that's one. And if everything goes as planned, oh no, he will beat me up for a few minutes. Nothing to worry about. Link will get out of here fine. See? And then what we want to do here is just shoot him off the ceiling. Look out. Shoot him off the ceiling with the ice arrows. And I don't know why that didn't work there. Let's try that again. There we go. Apologize about all the background noises. Like, it's a really nice day out, so people must be out and about. That takes care of Gekko, dude. Make sure you talk to him with a frog mask on. Which is what I'm going to do right now. We don't have too many masks left either. I used to believe that you needed to beat the snowhead boss before you talk to the frogs, but evidently that's not the case, which is really nice. I'm assuming it was like that in the original too, but this does feel like something that might have been switched for the 3D version. But I'm not 100% certain on that. because I never tried talking to him in the Nintendo 64 version without the frog mask. So I don't know. And there's actually one thing that we need to do in this cycle yet after the temple before we turn back time. Oh, two things actually. Two are heartbeats related. I think that's really the only two things that we need to do this cycle. We might be able to do the Cafe and Angie quest and finish that up. Yeah, I think we can actually. So maybe I'll do that after this temple, because I don't think you need the light arrows, which are what you get from or Stone Tower Temple. So I'll have to look into that, because I don't know what for sure is all going to happen next video. There is going to be collecting those heart pieces, like I just said. Because I don't want to make the videos too long. This one's already looking to be at least 40 minutes long, if not longer. Because I don't really like splitting the temple videos up. I'd rather just get them all done in one go. So we'll just have to see what I plan on doing. Now's the time to lower the water level, or not lower, but switch where the water is coming from. So let's do that real quick. Well, that's cool. On the minimap, it actually shows the direction the water's coming in from. Didn't realize that. You know, I'm just realizing Adult Link has the diving animation in Ocarina of Time, but I can't think of anywhere he can really dive from. I know it's a random thought, but just watching Young Link doing the dive animation, where can Adult Link all dive from in Ocarina of Time? That he would have that animation. Maybe from the area outside Zoro's domain, where Ferrari's Wind is. I know there's that little tunnel, but does that reach the water, like from that top area where the Skulltula is? I don't know. That's the only spot I can think of that he could dive from. Maybe the lakeside laboratory. I don't know. I feel like I don't know if you can dive from there or not. This should be the last thing I need to do in this big room. Is just gonna be head on up here, and we're gonna need to move the way the water is flowing one more time. So let's head up the slider. And there's going to be a stray fairy. I want to say it's this room. Yeah, there's going to be a stray fairy on top somewhere, which we can't get to right now. Maybe we can with some like, jump slash or something, but I don't think so. So, gotta make some ice platforms, and this room was quite a struggle for me in the Nintendo 64 version. But I want to say Link's grab animation is a bit more generous in the 3D version. I don't know if that's true or not. It does feel like some of the physics are a little different, making them a little smoother, a little easier to move around. So, I don't know what the deal is. Not kill that tech type, which probably wasn't a good idea to use the ice arrows on him, so let's see if I can kill him with the regular arrow. Hookshot probably would have killed him too. Maybe. There we go. So, I guess the ice arrow did do some damage to him, because he died in one arrow shot. So let's make one more ice platform. Oops. Take that one. And then probably could make this jump with the Barney Hood, but I don't want to risk it. Then we just want to push this. Like this. And I don't remember these outlines in the Nintendo 64 version either. Maybe I was just blind, but for some reason I'm only noticing them now. But I'm assuming they would have been in there to tell you which direction to push, so I probably just didn't see them. And then we want to make our way up. Excuse me, want to make our way. I cannot speak today. Want to make our way up to the top here. I might need a jump slash to do this, but we'll see. Oh no. Oh. Okay. Hopefully I can make it back up here before the ice melts. Oh no. Oh. Okay, we're good. Alright, let's try this one more time. Sad thing here is I can't use the save states like I can in Nintendo 64 version, so hopefully, there we go, made it. Where's this gonna be? 9? There we go. 9. Anyways, this is the last time we're gonna be in this huge room, so at least I think. Yeah, no, it's not actually. My bad. We have one more thing to do in this big room, but then it'll be our last time. If I can make it up here. Okay, the currents must be a little bit better in the 3DS version, because I was struggling like crazy in the Nintendo 64 version. And this room... I don't remember how many... Is there just one in this room? I don't remember. I have to put the Great Fairy mask on because I don't remember if there's 2 or just 1. Because the way the map looks, it looks like there could be 2, but I don't remember. Oh yeah, there's one up there. That's right. And okay. I think I froze that too late. Yeah. Okay. So, if you ever make a mistake like that, you can just use your fire arrows and thaw the water out. No big deal. I want to say there's 2 stray fairies in this room, but I don't remember where the other one is. Oh wait, yes I do. Yeah, okay, I remember where it is. Alright. So here's 10, 5 more to go. That was a cool little flip. I believe the other one is over here. Right? Because I have to hook that onto something, right? Oh, okay. I think I know what to do. Alright. Okay. So, I think I want a hook shot from this platform over here. Oh, it's already been almost a full day. Oof. Here it is. Probably could have looked at the map and then would have saw it. Try not to get nibbled on, but not very successful. Alright, then we gotta unthaw. Oh, I probably didn't even need to jump down. Couldn't I just hook shot up to the chest? But maybe that would have been too far away. Never mind. Just gotta make sure that I don't mess this timing up with the ice arrow, and then should be set. And then there's only really one more kind of pain in the butt room to go through. It's not even really a pain in the butt. It's just there's a few enemies that you might need to avoid. By enemies, I mean the annoying bomb trees. But other than that, I think we're just about done. Yeah, this is the last really main room of the dungeon. And there's a stray fairy down here. I don't remember how I break this. Ooh. Okay, clearly I'm not very good at this, but that's okay. Okay, seriously, like, roll, please. Can you not roll underwater? I could have sworn you could. How in the same hell are you supposed to do this? It is this one, isn't it? I have no idea what I just did, but it worked. I'm happy. And now I can't get out of here. Alright. Okay, that was a little annoying. It's all good. Now let's just... Okay, I like this room, because this is... It's pretty simple what you're doing. What you're doing is basically thawing out, or melting, and then refreezing the little ceiling tiles. So first thing we want to do is going to be to thaw this one out, or melt, whatever word you want to use. Actually, I don't know, is thawing the wrong word to use? We'll just say melting from now on. So melt this ice, and then that creates weight on that side of the scale. So this side raises up. And we don't want to unthaw or melt the other one yet, because we need to be on it like this. Now we can thaw it out, or I'm just going to use both, because it's ingrained for me to use thaw. And then we'll push this little doohickey. I don't know what it's called. Switch? Lever? And then there's a stray fairy in that chest over there, which used the Zora's Mask to climb up this little green pipe, which I cannot figure out what to do in the Nintendo 64 version, because I never tried putting on the Zora Mask. And as far as I can remember, this is the only time where you take advantage of the height difference between Link and Zora Link. Which maybe... Okay, I want to say it's different in the Nintendo 64 version, because I could have sworn you need to use the Zora Mask. And I don't know how that thing just died. Anyways, this is our 13th stray fairy. Right here. 13. And then we can head on out of here. So, we have the boss key, and we have 13 stray fairies. The final two are going to be in the last room of the dungeon, temple, whatever you want to call it. I guess, if you feel like you're going to struggle with the boss here, you can go turn him in quick, and then you can just make your way back, because getting to this boss room, it's actually really simple. You just want to go in from the starting room, and then head down to this little tunnel over here. And then that's going to put you in the boss room, I believe. So, if you want to, you can pick up these last two stray fairies. There's going to be one over here in this little tunnel. I might have to put the stray fairy mask on to get, though. But we'll see if I can get him a Zora Link. And then there's going to be one more... I want to say it's above the center platform. Maybe? If I can hit this thing. But if you feel like you might struggle with this boss a little bit, it never hurts to go turn in your stray fairies, because it'll give you double defense, and then it just makes the boss kind of a cakewalk. There is going to be a difference between this version of the boss and the Nintendo 64 version of the boss. I feel this one is both easier and more difficult at the same time, just because the way the boss fight works. It's kind of annoying for the second phase, and the first phase too, but they're both kind of annoying bosses in either version. I don't really know the strategy to beating them. I'm going to try using arrows for this version. It's been a while since I played the 3DS version. I think you have to use arrows to beat him, so that's what I'm going to do. Stay free. Did I forget? No, I didn't forget one. It's right underneath me, isn't it? Yeah, it's not above. It's beneath. Okay. So let's go get this guy real quick. And then this will give us our 15th stray fairy, so if you feel like you're going to struggle with the boss, you can just head on out, go back to the front, but honestly, if you're already here, it doesn't hurt to go for it. You don't really have anything to lose, aside from some time, but hopefully I can beat this guy before the first day's over. It's not... He's annoying, but not that annoying. So, let's just see how I do with this boss. It's funny, in the Nintendo 64 version, he just freezes midair, but in this version, they actually added a slowdown. That's interesting. And another weird thing about this boss fight, you don't actually use the ice arrows on him. Maybe you can for double damage, but you don't even, in the Nintendo 64 version, you don't use the ice arrows on him either, which is weird, so... I don't know why they did that, why they had it that you don't use the dungeon items on the boss. Maybe because they're made for freezing, but that really wouldn't do too much with this guy. So, I don't know, I just think it's a weird boss fight. All around. I mean, you got this really cool arena. They really could have done something cool, but instead they just have you standing on this platform the whole time. Oh, for half the boss fight? That was a little bit of lag there. That was weird. I want to say the Twilight Princess, the Morpheal boss fight is probably my favorite water boss battle. Just because they actually take advantage of fighting underwater. But they don't here. Not too much, at least. Like, you don't really fight him with any of his Orlink's weapons. You just use the little explosive things to kill him. I don't think I can do anything when he hops up like that. Yeah, it doesn't look like I can do anything when he does that. So, phase 1 should be just about done. Alright, so this is going to be phase 2, so I recall this part being a pretty big pain in the butt. If you are fighting him in the original version, I want to say when he's stunned, the eyeball comes out of his mouth, and that's where you're supposed to hit him, but for this version, since it's patched, I can just hit him on his body. But he's going to be calling out some mines, and I don't want to be chomped like this. He's going to be calling out some little mine sea urchin metal thingies. What you want to do is when he's about to inhale you in like that, you want to knock the mines at him, or cut the mines, and then those will go flying in towards him faster than you do, and once he absorbs them, you can actually damage him. And I Maybe it's the like 3-cycle thingy. Again, gotta get 3 cycles worth of damage on him. So let's just try and get 1 cycle on him. While these fish annoy the crap out of him. This one should be able to get him. Yep. No, I don't know the most effective way to damage him underwater. I'm just gonna try swinging into him with the little magic power thing. That seems to have done a decent job. And then we're just gonna try and do this 2 more times, I believe. He's not being overly cooperative with coming towards these little mines. That's okay, because eventually he should come towards one of them, or just come towards him. He should take that in. Yep. And then this will be our 2nd cycle. And it should be just 1 more. Tricky thing is just getting him to not eat you, but eat the mines. Because they do kind of have a limited explosive time. That seemed a little generous there. Then this should finish him off. I just want to do these fish are very annoying. Yep. So for whatever the reason, killing him drains this room. I don't really know how that works. Maybe Skull Kid did something to him, which makes the water bad. I don't really know. But then, and that takes care of the water temple. Just want to pick up your heart container, and if you've talked to the frog here already, there's nothing else left to do here, so we can head on out and see how we help the giants this time. So the last thing I'm going to do this video is going to be to get the Stray Fairy reward. But do not reset the cycle if you're following along in this playthrough, because there's going to be 1 more thing to do, or 2 more things to do in the next video. I think there's only 2 things that we need to do. So I'll take care of those things next video. It's just 2 heart pieces. There might be more. I'll have to look. But I think there's just 2 things. So once we get this, I'm going to save and probably pick up some other time this week. I want to try and do another video this week. I know this is really the only video I've done for Majora's Mask this week, and I was fixing to work on that a little bit more, getting like 2 to 3 videos up a week, but I kind of wanted to finish Story of Seasons, so that is actually going to be finished tomorrow. But yeah, I think I'm probably just gonna end the video off here. like I said, getting the double defense is really nice. We're kind of late game at this point though, so not super beneficial. It's just gonna be more so like that extra layer of protection. But still, always nice to have the double defense in Zelda games, so I'm not complaining. But with that, I want to thank you guys all for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day or night whenever you're watching this. Thank you.